hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakaraka. And on Street Talk, we did the political, social, and economics here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Now, joining me tonight,
Charles Thomas.
Paget Maynard.
All right, man, we got a lot to try to cover tonight, but let's see if we get some hands on this bill that Biden been trying to pass for the last who knows, and now it's down. It was a three billion, and now it's down to 2. And some of the things that I was noticing, some of the things he had to leave off of that. You know, I can't. Can you remember the things he's leaving off?
No, not verbatim, but I know that the Republicans are pleased with what he cut out of that package, that pork belly.
Okay, but the thing is that I see it as, things that for to help young people, some of the kids and everything, and all of these things. What he was trying to do was get a lot of these people out of the ghetto, and try to keep them out. That's what he was trying to do. And you might have a different idea, Patrick may have a different idea about it, But to me, that's what he was trying to do. Republicans, now they are concerned about the budget, Oh, the budget's going to be, when Trump was in there, all the 3 years he was in there, the budget got bigger and bigger because he was giving money to these people who already had a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And the U.S. is what, 1/10, I think, and all the rest, everybody else is poor.
Yeah. The shift that I seen is they were talking about putting restrictions on the wealthy, but now everything is focused back on the lower class in society.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that are making the money at the top are still being able to do what they've been doing, and that was one of Biden's campaign issues, to tax the rich.
Mm-hmm.
But he ain't singing that song anymore. Now they're going after people on our economical scale, the working class.
Yeah.
And they cutting programs down here when they should be cutting programs at the top.
Yeah, and like you're saying, that was supposed to be his thing. The reason how he gets this money, because we've got big companies here in the U.S., man, don't pay any tax at all.
Right.
They don't pay any tax at all.
Right.
We got, 3 of the 3 years he was in there, all the budget got bigger and bigger because he was giving money to these people who already had a lot of money. And
Mm-hmm.
all the rest, everybody else is poor. different headquarters set up in different cities, and it's just a little skeleton right there, because all the money and everything is out of the U.S.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You were saying, Patrick.
You got to bear in mind, people always blame the president. The president isn't the one with the power when it comes to the purse string. That's Congress.
Mm-hmm.
They appropriate. The president can suggest a program. I would like to see this, that. It would cost this amount. And Congress says yes or no. Unfortunately, you mentioned Trump a while ago when he was in office. You had a whopping tax break
Mm-hmm.
for the very wealthy. The poor people are the ones who are running this country tax-wise. I don't get a break even though I'm retired. I still have to pay my taxes. You mentioned the big corporations. Look how many of them are paying nothing.
Yeah.
Basically nothing.
Yeah.
Well, we have too many loopholes. And you see, they can afford to hire the tax lawyers who can find and manipulate and use the loopholes so that they get off scotch-free.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I, who can't afford to do that, we are stuck with pain. And frankly speaking, it's not fair to us.
No.
Talk about, oh, well, it's so much money. Good. Republican. Well, and should I call him a Republican too, Manchin?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because his big thing was the price.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That really wasn't the issue.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, when you're going to do your budget, you have to know the things you want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
You have to figure out, what is it going to cost me to accomplish this?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is this figure in the ballpark of what we are capable of doing? Are we going to raise taxes enough to accomplish this? On the government side. All right. The president is saying we are going to have all of this paid for by the taxes we are going to extract from the very wealthy and from the large corporations that are not paying. Those who got the Trump tax breaks, and Trump boasted how we just made them richer, they are going to have to put out and pay some. But the Republicans in Congress are sitting back. No, we are not going to do that. It's unfair. And this, you're only going to run up the deficit. Well, hey, approximately $8 trillion were added to the deficit whilst Trump was in office. Who were the people approving it? The same people now were saying, oh, that's too much. And let me tell you something. $3.5 trillion to do all that they wanted to do over a 10-year period is not too much.
No.
My suggestion, all right, Manchin don't want to touch this one don't want to touch that, drop those two for now. Drop it from 10 years to 8 years. So we just drop the time by 20%. We're going to drop the money by 20%. So instead of 3.5 trillion, we're going to come down to more like a 3.8 or so trillion. I'm sorry, 2.8 trillion.
Yeah.
Now, is that closer to what you wanted? But then we can also pick up the weather program, the coals that Manchin doesn't want to give up because he makes money from it.
Right.
Him and his family.
Right.
And look, I have nothing against you making money, legitimately.
No.
But by the same token, don't make it that everybody else must suffer whilst you alone get.
Right.
I got some more to say. You go ahead, Ahmad.
Well, the thing is that here's a man who pretends to be a Democrat. You know, he runs around supposed to be a Democrat, but 50-some times I heard about a month ago, 50-some times he voted with Trump. Now he's supposed to be a Democrat, you know, and you know everything that Trump did, it was for the people with all the money,
Well,
you know.
But he's a money man too.
Yeah.
But, you know, as you were saying, the reason we've got these, you know, people in Washington is supposed to be for the people.
Right. Looking up for the
Yeah.
constituents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're supposed to be there for, you know.
Now,
And go
the
ahead.
people voted for them to be there to represent them.
Right.
Instead of representing the people, the masses, they're representing the few who have the big money who can contribute to their campaigns.
Yeah.
Those who have can afford to pay lobbyists
Right.
to come in and lobby to get what they want.
Right.
And the poor man, the poor woman sitting out there voting for them to get in there get nothing.
Right.
Well, time for that to stop.
Yeah.
And people are going to have to understand this. You withhold your vote from such people. Okay, Manchin, you don't want to look out for us? Then we are going to look out for you. We're going to get you out.
Yeah.
Well,
Period.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that most of these, well, let's say Manchin and this lady from
Arizona.
Arizona, they just she was just elected last year, okay, and he was just re-elected. So, I mean, in 5 more years, they'll be ready. You know, I mean, I know he'll be ready to quit, and she'll be probably ready to go,
Right.
because when
but-
they leave, they've got lifetime
Yeah. Benefits.
benefits and everything. So in the next 5 years, you know,
And be a new crop.
yeah. So the thing is that they they don't care about the people who sent them there, because now they've got all this time in there to try to make money.
Right. And they
So-
keep the game going.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, lobbyists should be illegal.
Yeah, it should be.
You know,
Yeah.
because they're the ones that's causing, to me, most of the discomfort or the dissatisfaction within the house.
Mm-hmm.
But they're allowed to run free and throw money
Yep.
wherever they want to throw money
Oh, yeah.
for their interests.
Pocket and rotten borrows, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, who can afford to pay?
Right.
You win.
Yeah. Pharmaceuticals.
Now, you see, don't forget we're still supposed to be a democratic country.
Right.
We're supposed to be the cradle bed of democracy.
Right.
That's how we think of ourselves, at least. But look at what's going on. Democracy, one man, one vote. Every eligible person has the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing? Making sure it's very difficult, if not impossible,
Mm-hmm.
for certain peoples to vote.
For black people.
And it comes down to those who they know are definitely going to vote against them.
Mm-hmm.
So then, they're gerrymandering the districts
Yeah, red
so
line.
that you cannot win a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Trump already said the Republicans will never win if they don't cheat.
Right.
Use the word cheat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gerrymandering, cheating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't care what else anybody wants to
Right.
call it.
They, right now, trying to figure where the places. I can't remember the states now, but anyway, they've already cut up the area, because
Texas did a masterful job there.
yeah, because say in the biggest, I'm trying to remember what it was Texas and some more states, but anyway, in this area, say this big area of the city where most of the Democrats.
I think you're talking. That's the one district that Democrats, blacks, I should say, are the majority.
Right.
And they make sure they chop it up in such a way that they cannot have a majority.
Right.
It's not going to be a district anymore.
Right.
It's going to be piece here, piece there,
Mhm.
piece there.
Right.
Yeah.
And they fix it where, as say 10 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, where all these was Democrats in here. Now it's going to be Democrats vote, but a piece of their voting going over here to this Republican
Majority white.
Yeah, and over here is going the same way.
Mhm.
So all this now is not Democratic. I forget this.
Yeah. And not only that, they can void it out.
Yeah.
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 So and to me,
It's crooked.
I've always thought when I left Vietnam, I really got into the political part of the U.S. When I got out of Vietnam, I said one of the things I was going to study was history. I was definitely going to study history, and ever since I've been out of Vietnam, I've tried my best to learn everything I can about history of this country and other countries, But this country, man, when you see things happening right now with Manchin and this lady from Arizona, it's like, man, these people don't care anything about the people who sent them there.
Right. Yeah.
Away with the people who sent them there.
Yeah. It's based on greed.
Yeah. They it's like, oh, they put us here, but so we supposed to do what we want to.
Yeah. And even if you catch them with their hands in the cookie jar, they'll make up some type of resolution to null and void that.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, we got to face facts. I mentioned a while ago, democracy says one man, one vote.
Mm-hmm.
The Republicans are making it impossible for a large sector of this country not to be able to vote.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back, see, Manchin and this woman from Arizona
Mm-hmm.
holding up the Biden agenda, basically.
Oh yeah.
Now, something you have to understand about democracy also. The minority has its say. The majority holds sway.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Majority rules.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Right.
And if you're going to tell me that one or two people are going to hold up the whole agenda because they don't have they're not getting their way, like acting like spoiled kids. We need people who are going to be there. And I'm saying this because I want the people to hear and understand. Start looking for people who are going to be looking out for your interests. Get rid of any blockers.
Yeah. But
Okay? Because they don't mean you any good.
Yeah. But with this campaign that Trump started to stop the steal, and people believe that they stole the election.
Yeah.
Based on the comment that he made, because of, he turned the Republican Party into a cult.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually believe that it was stolen, but they can't prove anything.
Mm-hmm.
But they still are bent on causing corruption
Mm-hmm.
and distrust in the campaign of elections, the electoral system.
Mm-hmm.
And they just turning it into a chaotic division in the country and in the Constitution.
Well,
But then you have to notice too, sorry Chuck, with what you're saying there, Chuck, the fact that so many people are getting death threats
oh yeah.
Mhm.
because of this election.
Mm-hmm.
Trump lost. Trump is not a winner. He never was a winner. The
No.
man is a loser.
Right.
He's a bastard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He wants you to think he is this. He is not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's a bastard.
Yeah.
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 And people got to learn that. I know somebody can hear this and ready to tear me to pieces, but don't tear me to pieces yet. Begin to find out what it really means
Yeah.
to be a bastard.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that say 15, 16 years ago, because see the first time when who was it? The time when the votes was counted, it took 2 weeks to find out if George Bush had won against who was it?
In Florida.
Gore, Al Gore.
Al Gore.
Al Gore. Yeah.
And ever since then, when Obama won, the 2 times Obama won, there was a little bit of this talk and a little, and if you notice at some of the places he was speaking at, people wearing guns and all of this. So from that, you could see something coming on,
Yeah.
Listen, all of this didn't start 2000. You go back with the Trump-Obama issue, he's not from here. He born in Africa.
And Trump was pushing that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
Trump can only make people act
Right.
in his favor by coming with a lot of lies.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell Trump come out with substance. He said they stole the election from him. They went to court over 60 times and they lost.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
cannot come with one iota. Down there in Arizona, they had this fiasco of a recount.
Mhm.
They lost.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
He got more
the
votes.
count now show that he lost bigger than before.
Right.
All right? So he's a loser. What do losers do?
Cry.
They
Yeah.
cry
Right.
baby.
Yeah.
They make up all kinds of excuses.
Yep.
They tell all kind of lies,
Mhm.
talking about these people lying.
Mhm.
Trump is the epitome of lies.
Well,
Yeah.
And he is peddling his lies. And unfortunately, so many people who are so-called educated, attorneys, they give the profession a bad name.
Yeah.
well,
But Trump is making
They,
a lot of money.
they are following him.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But people wake up.
Well,
You have got to understand there was nothing wrong with the election.
no.
All the talk is because Trump has already said they cannot win an election if they don't
Cheat.
turn this tide and cheat,
Right.
cheat,
Right.
cheat,
right.
cheat.
Yeah. 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 And he promoted that coup on the White House.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
But
yeah.
we did out of that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why you think they don't want Bannon to talk?
And my wife mentioned to me yesterday, a person that's been impeached twice should not be able to run for office again.
No. No.
Now you see, hey, hold on. Since you bring up impeachment, and your wife, that's a smart woman. He was impeached twice.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, go back before that. With all he was talking of what he did and how you could grab women by this
The
and
crotch,
do
yeah.
this and then whatever. And that's the kind of person you want in there as your president. And then talking about, we're the people of honor, we're the people of decency, we're the people of morals. Where is the moral compass?
Right.
Donald Trump?
Yeah, no.
The only compass he has is an immoral compass.
right.
And I gotta tell you, man, the man is worse than Nixon.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Nixon looks like a choir boy
Yeah.
in comparison to Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because see, the thing with Trump, if you look at the last 30 years, I've only kept up with him for the last, since the time in the 70s when he wouldn't let these blacks move, into some of
His
his
hotel.
apartments.
his hotel and apartments and everything. that's when I got really got to know who he was, and when these boys supposed to rape this woman in
Central Park.
Yeah.
In other words, Ahmad, say it. He is a racist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
His daddy taught him how to be a racist.
Yeah.
Yes.
But see, the thing is that we've got a lot of racists here in this country.
Yeah. And that's why they like Trump.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know.
Call a thing a thing.
Yeah. And that's the very reason they'll right now. Hey, Trump. Oh, they was talking to some
More
people.
than that. You know why all of these white supremacists are following Trump?
Mm-hmm.
It's not because they love Trump so much.
It's what he's saying.
They're all afraid that they're going to be the minority. And I heard one, we're becoming a minority in our own country. Booger, this not your country.
Right.
You are a comer just like me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You are a comer to this country like me.
Yeah.
Go to the natives. This is their country.
Yeah. Right. And in fact, black was in this country before 400 years ago, 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Blacks was in this country long before then.
Yeah. Well, they thought the world was flat.
Yeah.
Man, the Africans were traveling.
Yeah.
The Africans were traveling. They got around. And they did what they had to do.
Yeah.
And some people come along because they have a different color skin, no melanin.
Mm-hmm.
Right, no melanin.
And they think that's a sign of supremacy. Well, let me tell you something. The very first time, and I've been reluctant to say it, but the very first time you hear anything about white skin, what was it? Leprosy.
Leprosy.
Yeah.
Even the story of Moses, when he put his hand out and turned white, and he turned Moses' sister white. It's a sin.
Yeah.
Back to the Bible.
Yeah.
But see, he's, I don't know what he's trying to get, I don't know where he's trying to get money from these people, and then don't run, or he get money from these people and then he's going to run.
Well,
he can't get money from the bank, so he's got to start a pyramid.
Right.
But look at it, look at it. You talk about getting money. The reason why he cannot declare he's going to be running is a different story when you declare. You have to follow federal guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he's been telling people, well, we have to, for legal defense.
Yeah.
For legal defense.
Mm-hmm.
All that money going in his pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's fleecing the people and they don't know it.
Right.
They're not seeing it.
No.
Even if they know it, they have been shutting a blind eye to it.
Right.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to?
Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.